First walk-off homer for the White Sox against the Yankees? None other than shoeless Joe Jackson in 1919. Steelers quarterback Dwayne Haskins is trying to earn the backup job behind Ben Roethlisberger. Last night, Haskins threw for 161 yards and a score to help Pittsburgh get a comeback win over the Eagles 24-16. The Steelers also make a trade with the Jaguars to get linebacker Joe Schobert. 3 more preseason games tonight, Titans and Falcons in Atlanta, Bills and Lions in Detroit, and the Cowboys play the Cardinals in Glendale.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com.
From the WZDX Pinpoint Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Partly sunny skies this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the lower 90s. Heat indices in the upper 90s, lower triple digits. We are talking about the opportunity for a couple of scattered showers and thunderstorms this afternoon, but not everybody's going to get wet. Not everybody's going to get wet at the exact same time. We stay relatively warm through the overnight. Temperatures only dropping into the low and mid-70s. We're essentially going to repeat this process on Saturday. Partly sunny skies. Temperatures hanging out in the upper 80s and lower 90s with scattered showers and thunderstorms. Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your own for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Follow us on Twitter. Subscribe to us on our YouTube channel and Twitch. Just search 97.7 ESPN. We are 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Who wants coffee? Anybody wants coffee?
Can you get me a dog? Roll type say.
The tire's tired.
He ain't good looking, but he sure ain't shy. He's a northern-bred, southern-fed, slick-talking guy. Listeners in his posse are the junkyard dogs. The SEC from Tennessee to calling them hogs. From Gainesville up to Lexington to the Titan Tiger Land. Nobody does it like Thom Abraham.
You want me on that wall. You need me on that wall.
Testosterone high today.
Yeah, Tom's a man, he's got the plan, he's really got it made. What a wife he's got, she's smoking hot, check out the junkyard babe. When everything is said and done, no one can beat his show. He's a high-tech redneck, Tony Soprano. If you love sports without the fluff, he's got the master plan. Cause nobody does it like Thom Abraham, yeah.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond?
And good morning, everyone, and welcome to Football Friday in the Doghouse. And no matter where you are, I mean, Football Friday means football music. Football music means that we get to party like a night. Oh, yeah, baby. Wait. Shouldn't we be partying like it's 1912? I mean, yeah, the show will be dominated by football talk, but my goodness, call me sappy, but I mean, oh, God. What a night in Iowa. Oh, my Lord, it was beautiful, except for Anderson.
Hits it in the air, right back at the wall, the White Sox win.
Well, yeah, there's that. But look, you can play more games there in the future, but it can't be like it was last night. It just can't. All of the nostalgia, the game, my goodness, what a game. Look, if you were to script it, no one would believe it, right? I mean, if you were to put it on a script, they would, a movie script, they'd say, get the hell out of here with that thing. Just stop that. Yankees down by 3 in the top of the 9th. They get 2 two-run bombs into the corn to erase a 3-run deficit. And they come from Aaron Judge, who rose to the occasion with 2 homers and 5 RBI. And of all people, Giancarlo Stanton, who fails so many times in these clutch moments. It's a 2-run homer with 2 outs with the Yankees down a run that just barely goes over the left fielder and into the corn. And they're children of the corn. But then for Tim Anderson, the best player on the White Sox, to answer in the bottom of the ninth, I mean, that was just storybook right there. I mean, I'd love to get your thoughts on this. I have a couple of minor pet peeves, just minor pet peeves, but I can tell you one thing that I am certain. When they return next summer, this is going to be a Cubs-Cardinals game. It just makes too much sense. It will be a Cubs-Cardinals game in the cornfield. Huntsville's Craig Kimbrell pitched the 8th inning for the White Sox. He looked dominant. He should have been closing. Closer Liam Hendricks, who some think is the best closer in Major League Baseball, got lit up in the 9th for those 4 runs by the Yankees. In the meantime, the Braves lost while the Phils and the Mets won. So that free-for-all continues in the NL East. Huge series this week for Atlanta and Washington. Braves now a half game behind the Mets and a full game behind Philadelphia. But it is just going to be an absolute free-for-all. All right, enough of that. It's what you want. I know this is what you want. Come on. Now, I understand that this is what you want. I understand you want to get your groove on here. I mean, listen to that organ, man. Does that scream Football Friday? How is it that I bet Joe Hunk is playing this now in Nashville. He used to hate it, but I bet he's playing it. If he's not, he's cheating them. I'm gonna make this my ringtone, man. Give me some guitar here. I want to hear the axe. Man, that's good. How can it not get you stoked, man? If you don't know, it's the original Monday Night Football music from 1970. Coming up in a few minutes, Brent Sobleski, NFL insider for the Bleacher Report. Damn. Mac Jones looked pretty smooth last night. Maybe Grizz is right. Maybe that dude is going to end up starting after all. I mean, game 1 starting. I mean, the best ball he threw last night. I just can't stop listening. Best ball he threw last night, 34-yard fade to the corner of the end zone. It was dropped by that kid. I mean, he was still 13 of 19 for 87 yards on a lot of underneath stuff, but he sure looked good. I mean, he put the ball where it needed to be put. That underneath stuff is important. You got to be able to hit those things in stride. I mean, all you had to do was see Cam Newton miss a guy on out of the backfield. Wait a minute, my other microphone's way over here. Was it in the shot? I don't even know. I'm not looking at the shot. Was my other microphone in the shot? I don't know. I got two. There's 2 microphones in here. We do more than this here show out of here. This studio is we do a lot out of this studio. Get rid of that microphone. Put that microphone over there. Got camera there. Got camera there. Got a big flat screen up there. Got awards all over there. Books all over there. And craps. The craps. I was having my health scare. I was thinking about my craps. And my wife and I differ a little bit on the value of the craps. And I'm like, I have 4 sons, 4 grandsons. And we'll have more grandsons down the road. They're going to fight over my craps. In fact, I should probably make a list of who gets what and so on. But they're going to want this stuff. She's like, what are we going to, what happens when you take the dirt nap? I'm like, are you kidding me? These guys are going to want this stuff. I know they're going to want it. And it's not going to be, it's going to be so sad. It's not going to be sad. They're going to celebrate me. They're going to whack up my library. They're going to each take a couple of my die-cast bass boats. They're going to take mini helmets. They're going to take signed baseballs. Roger Clemson, Joe Mauer. Joe Mauer might be a Hall of Famer. All them signed baseballs up there that people have given me. They're going to take the Derek Jeter signed stuff. They're going to want the Ted Williams, Babe Ruth stuff. They're going to want my stuff. They're going to want the Daniel Moore of the catch. I mean, are you kidding me? Chad wants the Daniel Moore to catch. Anyway, they're going to want stuff. They're going to want my pennant back here. My 97.7 ESPN The Zone pennant. By the way, we have two of them. You should be watching this show. If you're watching this show, you're missing a lot of stuff. Just shoot the show with a drone. You see over there, I don't know if I ever show that spot over there. There's my fish tank. All right, there's the fish. And there's a Yankees pennant, and then there's another 97.7 ESPN The Zone pennant because I just love my radio station. And then there's other stuff over there as well. All right. I may have screwed up my camera angle, Joe. Chad, you gotta let me know. All right. So anyway, back to Mac Jones. Looked pretty good. Now in Philadelphia, Joe Flacco actually looked better than Jalen Hurts. Hurts was 3 of 7 for 54 yards. Flacco looked good, actually. While Dwayne Haskins looked good for the Steelers, who sat Big Ben again. Haskins was 16 of 22 for 161 yards and a TD. There's no question that he is the 2 there. I mean, all that needs to be determined is he the future 1 there? I mean, that's the only thing yet that needs to be determined. Is he the future 1? Because to me, forget about Mason Rudolph. Dwayne Haskins looks much better than Mason Rudolph right now. At the top of the 11, Clint Lamb from On3Sports.com is in. Great new opportunity for Clint with Shannon Terry's latest venture, which is sure to be another home run. You know, Shannon founded Rivals. They sold that for a fortune. Then he founded 24/7 Sports. They sold that for a fortune. And now he's got On3. I don't know why they call it On3 other than I wonder if it's because this is the third thing that Shannon's doing. Clint is on the beat for Alabama, who padded up for the first time yesterday and who will scrimmage a bit tomorrow. By the way, speaking of college football, have you seen this NIL deal for BYU? I can't say NIL for BYU. An outfit called Built Brands, which is an energy bar company, is going to pay the tuition for all 36 walk-on players. So the whole team basically is on scholarship. All 123 guys. In fact, they're sponsoring all 123 guys in a deal that was brokered by the college. They were the ones that orchestrated the entire thing. I mean, are you really going to tell me that some walk-on kid at BYU is going to that this energy bar company is going to benefit from some kid that walked on at BYU? The hell out of here. This is about BYU. BYU has set this up. This, in all of the states in the SEC footprint, including Texas, this and Oklahoma, this would not be allowed. It wouldn't be allowed because they've got rules that university can't set up deals for the kids. This is BYU went and got this spot and they put all their kids on. The walk-ons are all getting enough money to cover their tuition. And I would assume it's got to get paid directly to the kid to pay his tuition. This is totally out of control. We have got to get some sort of national policy on this. Every state, the NCAA went from being these over-officious jerks that were like all over everything to throwing their hands in the air and just do whatever you want to do. Just do whatever the hell you want to do. They can't do anything anymore. Nothing. Chad, if you tweet the show feed, I'll retweet it. I mean, it's out of control. Now, the difference between this and a true scholarship is that these walk-ons, think about this. That's a business deal, right? They're getting paid enough money to cover their tuition. They have to pay income tax on that, right? Don't they? That's it. That's income. They have to pay income tax on that. Now, how is that fair to the scholarship players? Now, and when will the scholarships be taxed as income? I mean, do you see all the issues that are coming up with this? How is a scholarship from the school not a taxable benefit? It just seems to, what am I missing? I mean, I'm not the sharpest crayon in a box. Oh, that looks really good, Chad. I think that's the best yet. I'm looking at Chad's work here on the Twitch feed. You can watch the show on the Twitch and on the Twitter and on the Facebook. It is pretty cool. Oh, there it is. That's kind of weird. Usually, it actually comes up on Twitter when you do that, Chad. That's kind of odd. That's different. All right, so I got to click on it for it to come up. All right, I'll retweet it. So you guys need to jump in on that. Watch this thing. This whole, Twitter did something. They did an upgrade or they did like a new look. It's the same. The only thing that changes is like black. I have no idea what they changed. It doesn't seem to be anything different, really. Twitter and Facebook, they keep changing their stuff. They keep changing stuff. Your phone lines are open, 256-576-4977. It's a good old-fashioned way to communicate with us. 256-576-4977. We also have the entire digital doghouse for you as well, consisting of our Twitter feed at Thom Abraham Show. On Facebook, it's at Thom Abraham Show. Your text window, 732-9TA Show. 732-982-7469. Zone is on Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook at 97.7 ESPN. Online at 97.7ESPN.com. You can go there, and when you go there, you're going to find out two things. One, we've got another new deal up for you. Metro Diner is back. Metro Diner is outstanding, and they are back. That deal went live today. And there's a little bit of Bubby's Diner left. Has Bubby's rolled out the Big Dog Bacon Gravy Cheeseburger yet? I've got to get with them to see if they have changed. It was their idea. See if they changed the menu yet on that deal. Bubby's is just about gone now. There's 4 of those left. Go get a Metro Diner and get a Bubby's. Get them both. The Metro Diner deal, too, is good at all of their locations. So you're going to want to take advantage of that at multiple locations. We just got that one going. Metro Diner. That place is spectacular as well. Very, very cool. Take advantage of our deals. All right. Over there in that little glass room, playing the platters of matter and the stacks of eggs. Living large on a Friday. On a football Friday. It's Coach Gray.
Who in the blue hell are you?
I'm the producer of the show. If I didn't step up, you're nowhere. I put the thing together on a polish.
Brilliant! I've got $100 smoking in my billfold. I know I ought to save it, but it's burning a hole. Right through my pocket and into my skin. Come Monday morning, I'll be broke again. It's finally Friday, I'm free again. I got my motor running for a wild weekend. It's finally Friday, I'm out of control. Forget the working blues and let the good times roll.
Someone call someone because there's a cleanup on aisle 3 as a man is down.
It's like taking poison, like rat poison.
It's not St. Patty's Day, so that's a different day entirely.
Hey, Grizz, how you doing, my man?
I am doing just fine. What's going on with you this morning?
I tell you what, this video feed at the Twitch window, does it look the same everywhere? It just goes to different places, right? It looks the same everywhere.
Yeah, it goes everywhere. I mean,
but it looks the same. It doesn't like change, and it's the best I've seen it yet. It's got a crawl on the bottom. It's got logos of our great sponsors. I blew it up on my computer. I should text or tweet or Facebook or do something as to what it looks like on a full-size computer because it actually looks really, really cool.
Yeah.
On the computer. I mean, boom, took a picture of that. but it looks good. That's a good job by you. Tell me about your reaction to last night.
Oh, I thought it was great. Man, I mean, that's something that if you're a baseball fan, young and old, that really gave you chills. It's something that you really appreciated the game of baseball. You know, there's a lot of times that I wish basketball would do like an outdoor game more often, just to get people, you know,
could they do
a change of scenery. You know what I mean?
Could basketball do something like this? All right, football does the London,
yeah,
and they do the preseason game at the at Canton. Hockey has their outdoor games. Baseball has this. Could basketball do something like this on an outdoor court where they'd have to put a temporary covering over, like a pergola type covering almost, just to make sure in case it was rain or anything, but maybe on like the court at Ventura Beach in California where they did White Man Can't Jump? You remember that? Man,
yeah, oh yeah.
Do it on an asphalt court. You couldn't do an asphalt court.
It'd be so hot, and it would be so hot too.
But not in California, though. California's not hot.
That's true, but the sun beating down on a pavement, man. I've shot basketball around here. It kind of sucks.
But not here. It's not California.
It's
you know
not
what I mean?
humid
Over there,
hot,
it's different. They don't have any humidity. But I mean, do it on a. But you'd have to put a wood court down. I understand that, but do it out. Could basketball do something like this? Maybe.
I don't know. I don't know if it like if people would watch it, and then two, if it just like it would just be maybe it's just hard to put together. I don't know. I mean, they've put it on ships before, so I mean,
they've done that, but not a regular season game.
Right, yeah, obviously, but I mean, like that was college, so I mean, like for pros, like you would love to see something like that, but I would say like for last night's game, the only thing that I took away from it that I didn't like was I felt like the fences were too small, too low. I felt like that the outfield fence should have been. I think the outfield fence should have been a little higher because I feel like the home runs were a little much. Like because
there wasn't one home run that would have hit a fence. Those things were deep into the cornfield. I missed StatCast.
It just seemed like they were smaller. You know? Did
you notice they didn't have the technology? There was no StatCast. We got no velo. We got that first home run that Aaron Judge hit. If that isn't a 450-foot home run, he almost hit it to the other field.
Yeah,
I mean that thing was a absolute.
Yeah, there's a couple of them that like legit were like they look like they went further out, but because of how the fence looked, in my perspective, I guess just the fence looked small, and so that's
where it did. But I mean, it was okay to because this way a guy could go up and try and steal one, over the fence. So it was the fence was fine. But notice we also didn't have the Fox box. We didn't have the strike zone. Did you notice that?
Wow,
and where we needed it because that umpire was horrific. They didn't have the thing like where they would then show like where the ball was if it was a strike or a ball afterwards, like the replay of it where they would show that it was 6 inches outside. That umpire was absolutely terrible. I mean, he was just terrible. And the people, and it was such a small venue. I mean, the guys were dropping F-bombs and stuff like that. Here was a pet peeve of mine. Yeah. This is a uniform pet peeve, and it's a very, very minor pet peeve. I don't think they should have had numbers on the uniforms. We would have known who the guys were. They could have told us who the guy is, but there were no numbers on the uniform in the movie. In Field of Dreams, when they sit there and the White Sox come out of the cornfield and they play games and everything, they didn't have numbers on their uniforms because numbers didn't come in until later on, all right? So, to me, they should have had no numbers on the uniform. They should have had no Nike swoosh. They should have had no New Era logo on the hat. You know what I mean? And I wish they would have gone with those three-quarter sleeves. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, that would have been.
The three-quarter sleeve uniform. That was the authentic uniform. I wish they would have gone with that. But that's just a little pet peeve thing.
I thought it was great. I mean, all around, if you're a baseball fan, it was truly special. Great to watch. I mean, the intro on Fox was great. How
about Costner walking in through the
and then walking
you
through the
can't do that part again. Like if they do this next year,
you can't do
all the snappy stuff. You can't do the music. Well, you can do the music when they do the introductions. You do the music, but you can't do all of that other sappy stuff that they do.
Yeah.
You couldn't do like the James Earl Jones reminiscing. All the reminiscing and all of that stuff is done. I mean, you'd have to wait like another 10 years before you do that. But you could do the music, when you do the introductions, do the music.
It's like the Masters music.
You like this? I made this, by the way.
Yeah, I'm sure you did.
How about this?
Anderson hits it in the air to right. Back at the wall. The White Sox win it.
But you didn't know that I had that ability to do that kind of technical stuff, did you?
I thought you were pretty good at it.
No, I did make that. I'm not kidding.
No, I know. I thought you meant the song. I was like, no, it sounds like something John Williams made.
Is it a John Williams?
I don't know. It sounds like The Patriot to me. That music a little bit sounds like John Williams when he did The Patriot.
I didn't write the music for Field of Dreams, but I did put that little vignette together. I put the sound over. I put the highlight, and I cannot believe that our highlight service had only that highlight, that they didn't have the other home runs. It kind of ticked me off a little bit that it didn't have the Aaron Judge, and I know I could find them somewhere, but I didn't have time because I'm doing other stuff. And I needed to have that, but I have that ability to do that stuff. I just try not to do it. You know what I mean? I try to and you're too busy to do it. I need another guy. I need to have like when I had 5 guys. I need another guy. I just want one more guy.
Not a lot of radio stations just have one person back.
No, I need to have. There needs to be 3 of you.
Not saying I can't do it, but
there need to be, or at least 2 of you. Man, you know what? 3 of you would be better.
3 of me's. Yes.
3 of yous. Let me get a break, and when we come back, Brent Sobleski will join us next. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Simple Green is perfect for making your auto, RV, cycling, boating, and other sporting equipment look like new. Visit them at simplegreen.com.
Tonight, the Falcons open preseason play at home against the Titans. Atlanta a 1-point favorite. The over-under 38. Falcons at plus 900 odds to win the NFC South this season, plus 3,000 to win the conference, and plus 8,000 to win the Super Bowl. YouTube sensation and undefeated boxer Jake Paul will face former UFC welterweight champion Tyron Woodley on August 28th. Paul opening as the favorite, minus 165. Woodley at plus 125. After falling back to third in a tight race in the NL East, the Braves will once again travel to D.C. this weekend. They come in a minus 152 favorite against the Nationals in Game 1. Washington plus 125 on the money line. The over-under 9. Charlie Morton will get the start for Atlanta in Game 1.
I'm Trey Westerberg, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Our Zone deal this week is truly an award winner. Metro Diner, serving up signature dishes like their Charleston shrimp and grits, famous fried chicken and waffles with strawberry butter, and lots more. Their entire menu is available anytime, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And stop by for brunch on Saturday or Sunday and enjoy the lowest priced mimosas in town. Airport Road, Huntsville, and Highway 72 in Madison. Right now, you can get $50 worth of great Metro Diner food for half price, just $25 with our Zone deal. Just log on 977ESPN.com to get yours. If you're ready to lower your utility bills, it's time to call Eagle Insulation. Eagle can handle it all. Attic re-insulation, insulation removal, wall insulation, and new construction insulation, commercial and residential. Our primary goal is to save you money, and lots of it. Typical clients realize their return on investment within 3 to 6 months. That means the re-insulation actually pays for itself and then some. See if we can help you. Contact Eagle Insulation today, 256-755-1556, or log on insulatewitheagle.com.
2 Maids and a Mop. That's all you need to know to clean house. 2 Maids and a Mop is an award-winning company, bonded and insured. Hire them for yourself, or they have gift cards if you want to make someone else's day. Find out more online at 2maidshuntsville.com. A maid service worth talking about. 2 Maids and a Mop take care of everything. They supply all the cleaning equipment needed. Call 256-883-6243. The only finger you'll need to lift is the one to call them.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Chapman Commercial Realty, your source for Alabama commercial real estate. Chapman Commercial Realty has the experience and expertise you're looking for when making commercial real estate decisions. If it's office space, retail space, investment property, or project development, Chapman Commercial Realty is your answer. Call Bill Chapman today at 256-656-8413. That's 256-656-8413. Or find them online at chapmancommercialrealty.com.
This is Wes Neighbors talking to Chris Haygood of Bob Wallace Appliance. Chris, what sets you apart from other appliance dealerships?
Wes, these appliances are going into the most used room in your house, your kitchen. The way we have these appliances displayed, it's easy for you to visualize how they'll look in your home. Wes, what sets us apart is the people. They're well trained. In fact, they live and breathe these appliances. And if you need service, you'll really appreciate our parts department.
Contact Bob Wallace Appliance at 256-533-2121.
Southern Fidelity Mortgage. Think of them as a loan for everyone, offering more products than anyone else and the guaranteed lowest rates and costs in town. Of the 2,000 loans that Southern Fidelity Mortgage has pre-approved over the last 10 years, all but one have closed. That's unprecedented in the banking business. For FHA, VA, rural development, and conventional mortgages, for the best mortgage experience in town, it's Southern Fidelity Mortgage.
Call Southern Fidelity Mortgage Company at 256-656-5936.
From the WZD Expo Point Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Partly sunny skies this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the lower 90s. Seen indices in the upper 90s, lower triple digits. We are talking about the opportunity for a couple of scattered showers and thunderstorms this afternoon, but not everybody's going to get wet. Not everybody's going to get wet at the exact same time. We stay relatively warm through the overnight. Temperatures only dropping into the low and mid 70s. We're essentially going to repeat this process on Saturday. Partly sunny skies. Temperatures hanging out in the upper 80s and lower 90s with scattered showers and thunderstorms. Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your own for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Welcome back, Thom Abraham Show. So glad that you are with us on a Football Friday. Even though we did spend some time in that opening segment, I mean, I couldn't ignore it. It was just so good. It was just so beautiful. It was just perfect.
Anderson hits it in the air right. Back at the wall. The White Sox win it.
Yeah. Hated the outcome. Joining us now on a Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, NFL insider for the Bleacher Report, Brent Sobleski. Sobo, welcome back. How are you?
I'm doing well, Tom. Ready for a season to kick into gear now that the preseason has officially started in earnest.
Don't you think that the NFL could play one game a year at Canton in the fall, a real game, and have that kind of Field of Dreams feel to it? I mean, go back to, it's a glorified high school stadium, big high school stadium. It's only, 23,000 there, and play a game in the fall and make it be a game that counts. Don't you think that would be better than playing the Popcorn Hall of Fame game?
I love the idea, to be frank with you, because, I mean, the history in that area compared to, trying to expand your markets in London and Mexico City and now potentially Germany. And plus, you add in the caveat of a 17-game regular season to see the Cleveland Browns or the Cincinnati Bengals or Pittsburgh Steelers, since they're all within proximity, play one game in that stadium, especially once the Hall of Fame Village is complete. Now, anyone who drives past Canton at the moment sees that there's a ton of construction going on. This is almost $1 billion project that the city of Canton's been trying to slog their way through. And once it's done, it's going to be immaculate, and I think should be a crown jewel for the NFL to take advantage of. So I agree with you 100%. I'd love to see it utilized in a better manner than it has been in previous years.
Yeah, I didn't even think about the fact that with the odd schedule, that would even make more sense, to have, rotating games there and so on. And I just think it would be a beautiful thing. And if you time it right, what do you think, mid-October, you'd get the leaves and everything. And that part of the country is beautiful at that time of year. And it would honor the game, and it would be okay, you know what I mean, to have a 22,000 seats. And everybody would stay for the game, and it would count. That field that they installed now, I mean, there used to be complaints in the past about the field, but that field they played on the other night, was outstanding. I mean, there's nothing wrong. That's an NFL field.
Well, that's thanks to Tom Benson before he passed away and his contributions to the facelift. Look, I spent a lot of time at Fawcett Stadium before that they were rebuilding to make it what it is today. There were times when that was not a good field to play on, and it was a severely outdated stadium. But now it is a great, quaint it's a venue for events because you don't just have the game. Obviously, you have the inductions, but you have concerts and so on and so forth. Plus, there's local high school. Camp McKinley's literally right next door and technically the owners of the land. Then you have Walsh University and Malone when they had a football team, which actually has been disbanded in recent years. But they all play on that field as well. State high school playoffs. It is just a great venue now based on what Tom Benson and his generosity gave to that area. And it really is a lasting legacy for him beyond what he's done in New Orleans.
So are there games there all fall long? I mean, is there a high school football game there every weekend, or is it just for the playoffs, or does anybody play there on a regular basis?
No, Camp McKinley still plays there. So, and then you have some of the other locals come in there as well. And as I said, even some of the lower college teams. Like I went to Walsh University, worked on Walsh staff. We played there. That was our home stadium. So yes, you have consistency within it. It doesn't get tore up as much as it used to, and I think that's just really a testament of the quality of how they build it or rebuild it and refashioned it.
All right, so you know how these things work. Fans are just the word fan is short for fanatic, and people are already like, oh my, look at Mac Jones. And I'm not one that does. I don't overreact to that stuff. I mean, I got lambasted when I made a comment about the Justin Fields fade in 7-on-7. But I got to admit, he looked pretty damn good. And the best pass he threw was dropped. He looked like an NFL quarterback. And if there is a guy that maybe can do the Ben Roethlisberger thing, the John Elway thing, the Peyton Manning thing, go ahead and start right off of the bat, Joe Burrow. Maybe Mac Jones, if it's close, don't you go with the young guy? Do you go with the 11-year vet? Or if it's that close, do you go with the young guy? This is your future.
Well, first of all, my favorite pass from Mac Jones was the one that Jimmy Moreland almost picked off. I don't know if you remember this one, but he threaded that through the needle hole. And the reason why I thought it was a great pass was it was perfect ball placement.
Yeah, it was a third down, I think, wasn't
had to reach back.
Yeah.
It was just perfectly set for the wide receiver where it needed to be between the zone coverage. And that, to me, is impressive because you need that efficiency. You need that accountability when you're working within Bill Belichick's offense. And so, look, I tweeted it earlier today. I mean this partially tongue-in-cheek, but also it's the way I tend to feel when it comes to young quarterbacks. Start all of them. If they're showing a competency towards learning the offense and not being completely overwhelmed when on the excuse me, when they're on the field, there's no reason not to play them. You made that investment in a first-round quarterback. You know he's your guy moving forward. Take the lumps earlier in the season so that you're better long-term. Cam Newton is not the future of New England Patriots football. Mac Jones is. He's your guy. That's applicable whether we're talking about the Jacksonville Jaguars, New York Jets, Chicago Bears, who am I forgetting? San Francisco 49ers. So I would start literally every single one of them.
Well, wait a minute on the 49ers. Wait a minute on the 49ers. I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo, if he's healthy, Jimmy Garoppolo wins football games. I mean, if he's healthy, Jimmy Garoppolo takes his team to the Super Bowl. Jimmy Garoppolo did nothing but get hurt all the time. But if he's healthy, I'm not 100% sure, and especially in the case of Trey Lance, we're talking about a D2 guy. So I'm just saying, or is it one AA guy? I'm just saying, can we just pump the brakes just a minute maybe on that one? Are you not concerned anymore, though, about ruining guys? I mean, we've seen in the past it was always like a guy could get shell-shocked and then his career is shot. Did the Jets screw up Sam Darnold and so on?
Well, my consistent argument is once you select them in the first round, particularly in the top half of the first round, you're on their timetable. And so it really depends on the individual. If they step in training camp and preseason and show that they're capable and they can handle the situation, there's no reason not to play them. Yeah. Because in today's NFL, with these young quarterbacks, they are more prepared than ever to take on those responsibilities. Because you look at the way the quarterback position is treated today. When you start from junior high through high school and you have personal quarterback coaches and you're playing 7-on-7 year-round and you're getting all those reps, and you are in offenses that are now closer to what the NFL utilizes than ever before, you have the capability of stepping in, controlling what you can do in your new scheme, and fully highlighting your skill set. And that's really the thing with Trey Lance. Yes, I understand Jimmy Garoppolo is a good quarterback. I'm not trying to downplay his ability. But there's a reason why you traded up to number 3 overall to take Trey Lance, because you know he can give you more than what Jimmy Garoppolo gives you because of his athleticism, because of his arm strength. These are things where you're limited without him on the field. So because you made that investment, as soon as Lance shows he's ready, he should be on the field.
Yeah, well, you think he can give you more. The upside is there in the skill set, but, you still got a guy in Jimmy Garoppolo who has done it and taken a team to a Super Bowl and just has an incredible winning record when he's in there. The biggest problem for Jimmy G is staying healthy and the fact that his salary is a burden around our neck. Brent Sobleski with us here, NFL Insider, talking some NFL. And the thing about Mac Jones, too, though, is when you read the comments that the veteran players are making, and when starting offensive linemen are talking about his command of the team, and one guy said that he thinks like Josh McDaniels. My gosh, if you're saying that this rookie quarterback coming in who got this incredible coaching at Alabama, which is like the 33rd NFL team, that he comes in and he thinks like your offensive coordinator / future head coach, that's a big message that's being sent right there.
Well, it really doesn't come as a surprise, Tom, and because that was the biggest selling point for Mac Jones. Because if you looked at him comparatively to the others that went in the first round, he doesn't have the same physical tools, and I think that's obvious. But he has been said to have an eidetic memory when it comes to digesting information and relaying it to the field, to remembering what he has seen before previously from other defenses. So if he is now taking that same transition and understanding at the professional level, then you're really reaching the point where he's giving you an edge in what you want at the position. Because, look, I think Cam Newton was in a bad situation last year. Obviously, he was coming off injuries and so on and so forth. But at the same time, he's not necessarily the quarterback that Bill Belichick and Josh McDaniels prefer. They want someone like Mac Jones to orchestrate, to be that point guard on grass, to consistently be efficient with the operation. And so with Jones, the fact that he's on such this wavelength with Josh McDaniels says so much about him, what he's capable of, and where this organization is ultimately going.
Jalen Hurts struggled a little bit last night. On the flip side, Joe Flacco looked good. Nick Sirianni, the head coach there, but nobody knows, at the Philadelphia Eagles, will not name or has not named Hurts QB1 yet. Is there a real battle going on there? Could Jalen Hurts get beat out by Joe Flacco?
I don't believe so, because what it comes down to is what the owner wants, right, Tom? When the owner wants something, he usually gets it. And then,
usually with a new coach, though, you give that new coach some, you give him some juice. You say, okay, it's your call. You would hope with a new coach.
Well, it's still the owner's playground. It's still the owner's playground. And what was the report we had earlier this offseason? Jeffrey Lurie passed out a mandate that he wanted them to build around Jalen Hurts. And now, obviously, he has a shorter leash, and he's not guaranteed anything because he's a second-round pick. They didn't make the same massive investment that other organizations has. But when you have that potential and what he can bring essentially to an offense, I think he's easily the front runner. I don't believe there's a true competition. And quite frankly, when we're discussing Joe Flacco as a starter at this point of a career, to me that's a bit laughable. And you need to find out what you're going to do moving forward at the game's most important position, particularly when you're tying Jalen Hurts or a future draft pick to your new head coach.
On the other side of the ball was Dwayne Haskins. I don't think the question anymore is who's the number two. I think Dwayne Haskins is clearly ahead of anywhere that you're going with the other guy. I mean, it's not going to happen. I think the question now is Dwayne Haskins the future? For the Pittsburgh Steelers because he looked pretty good in that game.
Well, the issue with Haskins was never ability; it was commitment.
Right.
and how he really put in the time and effort to be a franchise quarterback, which he fell short of, at least according to the standards of the Washington football team, which we can question considering their recent history. But the Steelers are obviously in a position where they need someone to show long-term potential because they invested in Mason Rudolph. He had the opportunity to start. We've seen a lot of him, and he is not that guy. No matter what they say publicly or how many opportunities they give him, he has shown that he cannot elevate that offense to the level that's necessary with all the skill set talent that they have. And so if you have Dwayne Haskins with his potential, a former first-round pick, starting to feel comfortable, getting in a system he likes, and then I think he's a guy that at some point you want to see what he can do because maybe he's your heir apparent to Ben Roethlisberger, and that may be necessary sooner rather than later, depending on how Roethlisberger holds up this season, considering as much talent as the Steelers have throughout the roster, that offensive line's a mess.
Yeah, Brent Sobleski with us here tonight. The Titans and the Falcons. Of course, Titans' former offensive coordinator, Arthur Smith, takes over the Falcons. Don't know if we're going to see Kyle Pitts. Don't know if we're going to see a quarterback. Don't need to see Derrick Henry carry the ball at all in this game. But with Arthur Smith as a first-time head coach and with the Falcons trying to get to where the Titans are, is it your sense that we are going to see a Falcons team that is more energetic than what we might see out of the Titans in this thing?
Absolutely. I mean, you're trying to set your identity, you're trying to set your philosophies, you're trying to set the tone moving forward. And we know who the Tennessee Titans are. They are well established. They're one of the best teams in the AFC. Atlanta sits on that fringe, and this is something I've discussed in my writing all offseason, is that they went halfway. And by halfway, I mean they're trying to still win while rebuilding. And that is a very difficult proposition. So even if Matt Ryan doesn't play tonight, you're going to see a group that's come out and they're going to be energetic and they're going to want to win. And even if they do come out with a victory, fans will get excited. But the thing is, pump the brakes a little bit. We know the Titans are most likely not going to put their best players on the field, and the Falcons are still a far cry from the level that Tennessee's already reached.
And the feature game on Saturday night on the NFL Network will be the Cleveland Browns at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Baker Mayfield will not play in that game. I doubt we're going to see any of the first-line receivers. I don't know who's going to run the football for them. But, again, same situation. All the focus will be on Jacksonville. Urban Meyer coaching his first professional game. Trevor Lawrence, Gardner Minshew thinks that he's still in that battle. I don't know. And then, oh, by the way, number 85 is the fourth-string tight end, and I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of people just kind of wanting to see what Tim Tebow has. I think all the interest is on that side of the ball in that one as well.
It is, because like the Tennessee Titans, you know what you have in the Cleveland Browns. They're established. They're one of the best teams in the AFC. Jacksonville's a great unknown. And I'm really starting to question Urban Meyer. I mean, are we reaching the point already before the first season where my guyism is taking over? We saw him trade Joe Schobert last night to the Pittsburgh Steelers. They got rid of that contract. They have him out of the defensive lineup. We have rumored trade reports of C.J. Henderson, who was just a top 10 pick a year ago. I do not like, Tom, when new regimes come in and start sweeping chains to get their guys in there. We need to show you're capable of working with the talent that's available to you, especially when some of that talent's actually pretty good. And that's what I'm really questioning with Meyer, because we've had hiccups with him all offseason. We saw he got fined for practicing improperly. We heard reports that he's complaining about he doesn't get to see his players enough. Then he's trading away key contributors. Where are they going as an organization? And to me, that is a major question mark, and I think we'll start seeing it a little bit in this first contest, but it's something that's definitely not going to be solved for any time in the near future.
Yeah, my question, I mean, the other things, a lot of the other stuff was stuff that he's adjusting to from being a college coach to being a pro coach and the rules and regulations of that. On the personnel side, I'm going to defer to him a little bit there. I think, maybe he knows, he knows what one looks like and what one doesn't look like, and maybe he knows that to Joe Schobert, you got all you can get out of him, and that's a big contract, and I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what they can do and how they do it. Trevor Lawrence still going to get a good look, I would think, here tonight, don't you think? Or Saturday night?
Oh, I would think so. He's got to win a quarterback competition, Tom.
Yeah, right. Got to win that job. Got to keep Gardner Minshew off of the field there and win that job. All right, good stuff. As always, Brent Sobleski does a tremendous job covering the NFL for the Bleacher Report and joins us on Fridays and does a great job for us as well. Sobo, I appreciate you, man.
Thanks for having me, as always, Tom. You have a good one.
All right, thank you. Buffalo Bills at the Detroit Lions tonight as well. That one is on the NFL Network. Titans and Falcons will be on if you get Nashville stations. It will not be on live otherwise. I don't think anybody in the does the any of the affiliates, the local affiliates in Huntsville, carry the Titan games in the preseason? They haven't, Chad. They used to have them on there.
Yeah, I think there was a couple on last year. I know that during the season, obviously, 19 has Titans and 54 has Falcons unless they suck. And then they switch to the Saints or the
usually
Panthers,
in the preseason.
so.
I think somebody carries the Titans in the preseason.
I want to say it could be 19, and I want to say that they might be able to do all of them, especially local, obviously, but the local markets. But yeah, I don't know.
They wouldn't do the
swear
ones that
I
are
watched
on, like,
a
if it's
Falcons
on-
preseason game last year on the TV.
Yeah, if it's not on a national, like you'll see the Browns and the Falcons because it's on a national broadcast.
Right.
But if it's not on a national broadcast, you got to get the local one. Bills in Detroit will be on the NFL Network, followed by the Cowboys and Cardinals joined in progress on the NFL Network as well. All right, let's get a break. We'll come back and wrap up hour number one next on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
TOC Sports has been there for you. Now, you're probably asking yourself, what does that mean? It means for more than 20 years, Alabama's largest orthopedic group has been there providing coverage and care to more schools and student athletes in the Tennessee Valley than any other group. It means whether you are the star football player, the all-region volleyball ace, or someone who hurt their knee in a weekend pickup basketball game, TOC Sports physicians are proud to have the opportunity to care for all your orthopedic needs. It means for parents, coaches, athletes, desk jockeys, or even weekend warriors, TOC Sports physicians continue to meet and exceed the orthopedic and sports medicine needs of our community. But most importantly, during these challenging times, we're here for you now, and will continue to be here. So as long as there are players on the field, games to be played, and contests to be won, the orthopedic specialists from TOC Sports will be ready to help. We don't know what the future holds, but you can count on the TOC Sports team to stay committed to you, so you can stay in the game. Call 256-539-2728 today and ask to see a TOC Sports physician. Check them out online, also Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Tired of the same old menu options everywhere you go? Then you need to try Metro Diner in Huntsville and Madison. The award-winning Metro Diner serves up signature dishes like their Charleston shrimp and grits, famous fried chicken and waffles with strawberry butter, and lots more. Their entire menu is available anytime, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And stop by for brunch on Saturday or Sunday and enjoy the lowest price mimosas in town. Airport Road, Huntsville, and Highway 72 in Madison. In diner or at home, make it Metro Diner.
Thom Abraham here for my friend Brian Hamaker and his team at North Alabama Mortgage. Look, buying a home is the biggest purchase you will make in your life, and it can be a bit intimidating, so you want people that can help walk you through the mortgage process and get you the best deal possible. That's what North Alabama Mortgage does, and they do it in Alabama, Tennessee, and Florida, from first-time purchases to refis, conventional, VA, FHA, and USDA loans. They have the solution at North Alabama Mortgage. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com to learn more. That's NorthAlabamaMortgage.com. Welcome back, Thom Abraham Show. The segment brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford. For all your service needs, it's Woody Anderson Ford. And don't forget about the pre-owns. I bought a 2019 F-150 STX at Woody Anderson Ford. I absolutely love it. When I brought it home, my wife thought it was brand new. Not brand new. Stop calling me during the show. Who's calling me from Philadelphia? Why would I be getting a call from Philadelphia? I don't understand that. All right, let's get to the lines. Wolverine Dan is up first. Wolverine Dan, welcome to the show. How are you?
Oh, living the dream. Larry and I just knocked down 18 holes, baby.
Where?
Southern Gale, and then now we're knocking down some Miller Lite.
Yeah, I hear that. Why is he on the wait a minute. Is he on the phone with you, or is he on another phone calling us?
Well, hold on.
I'm on here. I'm not dialed in on another.
Oh, okay. You guys are just together. This is just your double dipping me here. Okay.
Yes, sir. We're double dipping.
Hey, last night, come on, Kevin Costner, let's get to the pitcher's mound. It took you forever. You look like you didn't know where you were going.
He was wandering around. I think he had to wait for the music. They told him to play, let the whole song play out, and I don't know. Did he ever he never threw out the first pitch? Did he? Because if he did, we didn't see it. You know what I mean? I don't.
No,
yeah.
He didn't throw out the first pitch, pitch. Anyway, he came off the wrong way. But listen, he was in the booth with those other guys.
Yeah.
Schmaltz and the other guy, whatever his name, Yankee Doodle Dandy. I can't remember his name.
That should be Joe. It would be that would be Joe Buck, Hall of Fame broadcaster.
Yeah,
but go ahead.
Bucky boy, whatever. Anyway, so there, I'm going. Come on, Costner, speak up a little bit. I can't hear you. What's with this guy?
Well, he's he isn't a spring chicken. He's like 65 years old. He looks pretty good for 65.
Come on, we're that old. Hey, listen. And I watch a little bit of football. I was double dipping. I was flipping it back and everything.
Yeah.
The Bama boy from Washington. Washington. He played halfway decent, but tonight's the big game. My Lions on journey to get to the Super Bowl, brother.
Yeah, and NFL Network.
Larry.
6 o'clock, NFL Network. Yeah.
Yeah, it's never going to happen, Tommy. Don't worry.
Yeah, we know. We know. We just got to let him go with it a little bit. You know
Go
what I mean?
Pack, go.
We just got to let him go.
Hey, listen, Rogers. Hey, your ass is grass and I'm a lawnmower.
Have a great day, guys.
See ya.
All right, let's get a break. When we come back, Clint Lamb will join us from On3 Sports. We'll talk some Alabama with him as they get ready to scrimmage tomorrow. You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on a Football Friday at 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Tom Luganbill here for Woody Anderson Ford. When I was in the Tennessee Valley, one of the things that impressed me the most was the quality of the people. People like Bobby White and his team at Woody Anderson Ford. And now you can experience the tremendous new service lanes and showroom at Woody Anderson Ford, at Jordan and Sparkman, or just stop by for breakfast or lunch at Henry's Mustang Cafe. And in Madison, visit Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, just south of 72. Like a great college football tradition, always there, Woody Anderson Ford.
Hey, this is Justin with the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill. We'd like to invite you to North Alabama's premier patio bar and grill, where at the factory, we have something going on each and every night. Monday night, steak night. Tuesday night, karaoke. Wednesday night, the Jeep community comes out for Jeep Jam. Thursday, it's bike night, the biggest in the valley. Friday and Saturday, live concerts on our 4,000-square-foot patio, along with drink specials and a beautiful staff. What are you waiting on? We will see you at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill.
Sitting here with Ann Adams of Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Rise Real Estate. Is it a good time to sell your home, Ann?
Yes, it is. We have people relocating from all over the country.
Why should we choose Rise Real Estate?
Well, we've been selling real estate in North Alabama for 36 years and have sold more real estate than any other real estate company, period.
Do you help your customers through the entire process?
Yes, our agents are with you during the whole process from start to finish, from beginning to end.
In your relocation services, you have a whole team.
Yes, we have a dedicated relocation department helping customers move seamlessly into the area.
Ann Adams has been writing contracts for the last 36 years. She has the experience to help you list and sell your home, downsize your home, or help pick the perfect spot north of Alabama for you to build a future.
Call Ann Adams at 256-337-2625 or on the web at www.bhhsriserealestate.com.
When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here have trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Take your taste buds back in time with a trip to the all-new Bubby's Diner, offering a variety of mouth-watering food, from delicious starters to 50-style diner food and meat and 3 meals, featuring owner and Huntsville native Chris Bubby Belcher's family's homemade recipes. Open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner at 8412 Whitesburg Drive in the former Gibson's Barbecue. And you can enjoy $50 worth of delicious Bubby's Diner food for half price with this week's Zone Deal. On sale now online at 977ESPN.com.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is SportsCenter.
Good morning, I'm Doug Brown. Do not sell this farm, Ray. The Field of Dreams game in Iowa comes complete with what else? A dramatic finish. White Sox shortstop Tim Anderson's 2-run walk-off homer in the 9th to beat the Yankees 9-8. Who hit the first walk-off homer for the White Sox against the Yankees? None other than shoeless Joe Jackson in 1919. Steelers quarterback Dwayne Haskins is trying to earn the backup job behind Ben Roethlisberger. Last night, Haskins threw for 161 yards and a score to help Pittsburgh get a comeback win over the Eagles 24-16. The Steelers also make a trade with the Jaguars to get linebacker Joe Schobert. 3 more preseason games tonight: Titans and Falcons in Atlanta, Bills and Lions in Detroit, and the Cowboys play the Cardinals in Glendale.
The following liner is courtesy of Frank Caliendo. Check out Frank online at frankcaliendo.com.
Tell you what, man, listen to Talking Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Weekday mornings. Knock on wood if you're with me. I say his name right? Tyson?
You need to move more like a dog.
Like what you guys are doing. You've got your fingertip on the pulse of your listeners. You guys know what they're talking about.
Be a dog.
God bless the show. You are the Messiah.
We need more dogs.
This is the best show on radio.
The big dog, Thom Abraham, is here with you.
Hey, I see you. I see you, dog.
So settle in and get your bark on.
That's my dog.
Now live. Here he is, the big dog.
Let's go, baby!
Thom Abraham.
How you doing? 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 How you doing?
Look, I don't speak Spanish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
Do you know who I am?
I mean, that guy sounds like Elle McPherson farting into Miles Davis' trumpet.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond? Get off my
I have to drag my Yankee ass out of here.
Are you kidding me? I missed that stat. Are you kidding me? I had no idea. Of course, Tim Anderson with a walk-off home run last night.
Anderson hits it in the air to right. Back at the wall. The White Sox win.
Are you kidding me that the very first walk-off home run in the history of the New York Yankees was hit by shoeless Joe Jackson? Oh, my gosh. I think I did die. I died and went to heaven. This is heaven. Now, you know what heaven is? I mean, heaven was in Iowa last night. Heaven is late fall in Tuscaloosa for a 2 o'clock game at Bryant-Denny Saban Stadium. I mean, I think that would be heaven, too. Joining us now to talk a little bit of Alabama as we get things started. This segment of the show, by the way, brought to you by North Alabama Mortgage. For all your mortgage needs, it's North Alabama Mortgage. This is a scary thing for some people. You know, when you're getting a mortgage or buying a home, it's the biggest purchase that you'll ever make. You want somebody that can kind of walk you through the entire process, and the guys at North Alabama Mortgage can do that. Brian Hammaker, his team, they're family. You know what I mean? They're like family, all right? And they're right here in North Alabama. They're also in Florida. They're also in Tennessee as well. All right, joining us now, Clint Lamb from ON3Sports.com, his latest, greatest venture, and he's on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Clint, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic today. It's Friday. How you doing today, Tom?
Well, it's always great on a football Friday. I mean, it's just a wonderful thing. And I haven't asked Shannon Terry about this yet, but why is it on 3? I had Ivan Maisel on at SEC Media Days, and I didn't ask him either. Is it on 3 because this is Shannon's third home run venture? Of course, for our listeners, he founded Rivals, sold that for a fortune, and then he founded 24/7 Sports, sold that for a fortune, and now it's on 3. Is that why they call it on 3?
Yeah, that's actually a great question. I hadn't really thought about it like that, but I think that actually fits.
And that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it fit because on 2, that would have made sense, a lot more sense, I guess. But on 3, I hadn't really thought about the number, but it's a creative name. I remember when 24/7 Sports first became a thing. I thought, that's such a great name for a company because, especially when it comes to college football, because for most people, college football is 24/7, right? So I thought that he was very creative in that name, and I thought On 3 was very catchy as well. I know that if you left the name calling up to me, it would not turn out quite as well.
Yeah, well, On 3 will be interesting. It'll become part of our nomenclature. Rivals, that made sense. 24/7 made sense. This is a little bit different. And am I reading this right? They got a deal right now that you can get the first year for $10. I mean, $100 value. You can get the first entire year for a $10 bill of On 3. That's incredible.
I tried to talk them out of it. I said that's way too good of a deal. But
it's not enough to pay you. How are they going to pay you? They need more money.
Yeah, it is a fantastic deal, and right now we're rocking and rolling. We got several people across multiple fan sites, Alabama being one of them, of course, with the Alabama brand, that comes into play. But I've had a blast so far. I've only been on the job, I guess this is day 5, but, getting to do a lot of different things that I've never gotten to do before, and I'm having a blast doing it. So it couldn't be more thankful.
And there's 3 that are covering just Alabama, right? I mean, there's you, and then there's Jimmy Stein and Nick Chevanelli. Is that how you say his name? I mean, so there's 3.
Nikki.
Yeah. Oh, Nikki Chevanelli. Oh, it's a chick. Okay.
Yes, and she's a fantastic job. She's handling the recruiting stuff for us. She was covering Arkansas, I think, for Rivals, and that's where she came from. But she's doing a fantastic job, knows her stuff, kind of had to put me in my place a few times as far as, knowing the ins and outs of certain things. And I'm just fortunate to be a part of the team, Tom.
So if I need to talk recruiting, I got to talk to her, is what you're saying.
That's almost exactly what I'm saying. She knows her stuff, man. She's fantastic. I've been blown away. And Jimmy, I'm sure you're familiar with Jimmy Stein, but he's kind of helping, run the fan community on the message boards and doing some social media stuff. And just with his knowledge of Alabama, I think we've got a really good thing going.
What were your thoughts about Mac Jones last night? I've been a pump the brakes guy, saying don't rush this guy in and mess things up. But man, he looked like an NFL quarterback last night for a minute there, didn't
he? He really did. Very rhythmic passer, which I think when you look back to Tom Brady and how he did in that offense for almost 2 decades, it seemed very similar. And I'm not saying that Mac Jones is Tom Brady. I had some fun with it last night on Twitter and got people riled up by, asking if, it was Mac Jones about to win 6 Super Bowls in Foxborough. But
I saw that.
As far as the offense and the way that it's run, play action stuff, getting the ball out in a very timely manner, quick, efficient, I feel like that fits Mac Jones' style to a T. And I think that fits the Patriots' style to a T. So I think it's the perfect match. I don't know if he'll be the week 1 starter. It still could end up being Cam Newton, but I guarantee you if it's not week 1, by game 5 or 6 or 7, I would not be shocked at all if Mac Jones was a starting quarterback. And hopefully they've, put enough around him as far as the weapons where he can be, as effective as I think he can be. But at least I think the offensive line, the moves they made, adding Trent Brown and some of those other guys with the starting unit, going ahead and building that up for a pocket-style quarterback such as Mac Jones, I thought was smart. You put him in a good position to succeed, and hopefully they're able to do that. But, yes, I was very impressed with him in his debut.
Best ball he threw was that when he dropped into the corner, that 34-yarder. It should have been a touchdown that the kid dropped. So, I mean, his numbers could have been even more impressive for sure on that. Now, I'm not one to give up on Tua Tagovailoa after. I think last year, whatever he did was just a bonus. I didn't even think he should have been on the field last year, coming off of the gruesome hip injury. Having said all of that, in your mind right now, if you're a betting man, will Mac Jones be taking snaps as a starter in the NFL after Jalen Hurts and Tua Tagovailoa are not?
Oh, that's a tough question. Just Mac Jones does feel like a 15-year quarterback to me. And I'm not saying that he's going to necessarily be a Tom Brady or a Drew Brees or an Aaron Rodgers or a Ben Roethlisberger necessarily, but I feel like that where he masters the game, it's the mental side, it's the understanding the nuances, it's the continuing to maximize every little bit of talent that he has. And so I feel like he's going to be one of those players that continues to learn and grow with the game as it changes and develops. And I think that's going to allow him to be a quarterback for a very long time in the NFL. And with Tua Tagovailoa, I see something very similar. But at the same time, with the injury history, that's the unknown factor that I can't really, predict or determine right now in year two. I certainly hope he's around for, 10, 15 years as well. And I think that it's possible if he can stay healthy, but I just think that there's more question marks. And with Jalen Hurts' style, Cam Newton taught us that you can have a lot of success being that powered physical runner for, a number of years in the league. But, as we've seen with Cam, when things start to break down, they really start to break down. That can't be your style anymore. So if Jalen Hurts wants to be a 10, 15-year guy, he's going to have to learn to develop his game to where he can compensate when he's no longer able to use his legs and his power running style like he can early in his career. And that's just something that I'm not sure of as well. So, yeah, I would probably say that Mac Jones will outlast those other two guys by just a tick. But I think they'll all three be successful, and hopefully they're all, double-digit year guys in the league.
I'm still not too sure about Jalen. I'm not 100% sold on that one yet. I think the book is out on Tua as far as I'm concerned. I'm not 100% sure on Jalen. I think he's the one that may possibly struggle the most. All right, to Alabama, Clint Lamb with us on 3sports.com. What's going on with Jaleel Billingsley? Tell us why this guy hasn't been around. He's the most talented of the tight ends. He's got all kinds of skill. But I don't know if he I don't want to say anything negative. What's going on with him?
Well, as Nick Saban clarified, when it first broke that he was not practicing and had not been practicing since they had started, which was only a couple of days, the rumors started running rampant. It's just as far as, what the cause was. And I'm not going to get into those rumors, but they ended up being false. Nick Saban clarified back when on Wednesday when we finally got him at his weekly press conference, we were able to ask, and he clarified that it was COVID protocols, that he had to work his way through some of those. I don't know what all that entails, but based off of, comments that Nick Saban made about, becoming a leader and the possibilities and capabilities of a guy like Jaleel Billingsley, he's certainly capable of being a guy who's a leader in that locker room, and Nick Saban expects him to be one. That kind of makes you think, okay, he probably was doing some things maybe that he shouldn't have been doing, maybe being out or something, and putting himself at risk if he's not vaccinated or whatever. I'm not going to speculate on any of that stuff too much just because I don't know. You're trying to put together, read between the lines and put something together on it. But what we do know is that he's back at practice. Nick Saban says he's got to work his way back up to the top of that depth chart. I don't think it's going to be handed to him, but extremely talented kid, has, continued to improve during his time in Alabama. He got some playing time as a freshman 2 years ago, and then last year really became a steady, valuable target, especially when Jalen Waddle went down with that injury. And over the course of the season, he continued to get more and more involved in the offense. And I think that when you're losing Jalen Waddle and Devontae Smith, and you do have some veteran guys in Slade Bolden and John Mechie, and now you've got at least a guy with experience in Jamison Williams in the fold too. But you're looking for those as you're continuing to try to develop those first-year guys, which there's tons of them. You've got now another veteran pass catcher in Jaleel Billingsley who can provide kind of a safety blanket and be a nice little reliable target for Bryce Young early in the season. So I think he's going to be a huge part of the offense. I think that, hopefully he's got his head, in the right place and he's doing the things that he needs to do, because I know Nick Saban believes that he's capable of doing that. But there's just not a whole, with the problem with the COVID stuff, as soon as that gets brought into the equation, there's with how polarizing or how controversial the topic of vaccinated and not vaccinated and all these different things, you don't want to start making assumptions about players and stuff and trying to put stuff out there. And that's why I'm, being very careful in how I navigate it. I'll just take it, Nick Saban kind of had his word, and he said, or at least he made it seem like when he was talking about it, when he first brought it up, that it wasn't, a huge deal. And so I'll trust him and kind of, just focus on the fact that Jaleel Billingsley's back now.
What about James Clemens, LeBron Ray? A lot of expectation. Well, last year there was a lot of expectation. Certainly a lot of expectation that he can have that big year that we've been waiting on this year. But he's battling a little bit of injury issue as well, right?
He is. It's a pretty significant groin injury that's going to keep him out for a couple of weeks, which is very unfortunate. I feel like this has been, LeBron Ray's entire career since they, from about the time that they needed him to step up into kind of a full-time role and become that guy. He had done the rotational thing and waited his turn, and now, a year or two in, it was his turn to step up. And since that moment, he's continued to deal with injury after injury. And I hate it for him because I think he's an extremely talented guy. I think he feels, a void from a leadership perspective, and he's got some inside pass rushing ability, especially that I think has been untapped up to this point in his career. Where you got the dominant edge presence guys in Christopher Allen and Will Anderson Jr. If you've got that complimentary guy inside who can apply pressure when quarterbacks are trying to step up in the pocket and, elude those guys coming off the edge, that's a dynamic combination. So Alabama's looking for that guy on the interior. Christian Barmore's gone. A few years ago, it was Quentin Williams. A lot of people, including myself, thought that LeBron Ray could be one of those guys, one of those potential options, and he just can't seem to stay healthy, and that's unfortunate. But what I'm hoping for him is that he's able to overcome this groin injury and get on the field, and he's able to stick around for, the long haul as far as for the rest of the season and actually get to finish out on a strong note because, he's certainly been a guy who's been a part of the process and done all the things that he possibly can. He just hasn't been able to stay healthy.
Clint Lamb with us here talking some Alabama football. The coaches poll came out this week. Alabama sitting atop it. A lot of respect from the coaches, obviously, and maybe that's a Nick Saban thing as much as anything else. In your mind right now, are they the number one team in the country? Or are they the number one? I mean, they could be the number one team in the country, but with all of that, what they have to replace on offense, and us not even seeing, really any starting, any, pressure situations out of Bryce Young, the expectation is there that he's the next guy, and I get that. But would you say that they're the number one team right now in the country?
I think that the top two teams in the country, if you're taking away, reputation and everything else, I think it's Georgia and Oklahoma. That's my personal opinion. I've got question marks about Clemson. I've got question marks about Alabama, and Alabama has proven time and time again that they're able to, reload and not have to rebuild. So I'm very confident in their ability to overcome those questions or provide quality answers to those questions. But with the unknown factor, I think that you got to go with what you know a little bit more. Now, granted, it's Alabama. Their past stuff, it's very tough for them to come off an undefeated season and, you not have them as the number one team in the country. So I don't blame the coaches poll whatsoever. I thought 63 out of 65 first place votes was, a huge portion. Yeah, I was very shocked by that, but I was also very surprised that Clemson was ranked number 2, because it's like I said, I feel like Oklahoma and Georgia are the top 2 teams in the country just based off of what we know right now. And, as Alabama and Clemson and Ohio State and some of the, Texas A&M with their quarterback situation, as we start to see them getting into some of these games, that could change very quickly. But I agree with you that, I don't feel like the top 2 teams in the country necessarily are the 2 best teams in the country based off of what we know right now.
Yeah, I think that's the key. I'm not saying that they can't be that team. I'm just saying right now, and when you look at that opening the first half of the season, I mean, they've got some tough games. I mean, they're going to Florida. They got this Miami game, but they got to go to Florida. They got to go to Texas A&M. Play Ole Miss at home. I mean, that's a grind. They've got a little work to do. Between opening day and October 9th, while they're becoming a better football team. So I do think that's a little bit. It's a little bit heady, a little bit of rat poison, if you know what I'm saying.
Well, and early on in the season, you play Miami in the first game. Then you get kind of, rat poison. I'm going to try to avoid, saying it like that. But then you got Mercer, a home game. Then you go on the road to Florida, which will be tough on September 18th. And then you got Southern Miss after that. And I think that's a very manageable 4-game stretch. But I think that 3-game stretch of Ole Miss and then you're trying to deal with that Lane Kiffin offense. I think that's going to put, a ton of pressure on Alabama's defense, which is expected to be very good. But I still think that Ole Miss is going to have, some success against them. But having kind of that headache followed up by a tough road trip to College Station, and then you got a road trip to Mississippi State, and that's the one that I don't think enough people are talking about. I don't think that it's necessarily that Mississippi State's going to be this great football team, but I do know if things do, in fact, start to click in that Mike Leach offense, they're going to be a very tough offense to defend. And the way that they throw things at you, it's very different than a lot of these offenses that Alabama has played. So when you've got the tough offense in Ole Miss, that's probably going to be a fairly close game, kind of a battle. Then you go on the road to Texas A&M, which should be a very hard-fought physical game. And then you're following that up with potentially a fairly underrated tough trip to Starkville. I think that's a pretty darn tough stretch if you're Alabama, just with the way that ended up working itself out. But if they can get past that stretch unscathed, I think from there it gets a lot more manageable. I think the Arkansas-Auburn, game to finish the season won't be, as easy as maybe it looks, but I think everything else from there is fairly manageable. It's just, that 3-game stretch is going to be extremely tough. And this Alabama schedule, when you look at it from a fan's perspective, you're not looking at any of these home games and saying, I think that's going to be, so much fun to go to. You got LSU, you got Arkansas, you got Tennessee. Ole Miss, I think, will probably be, LSU and Ole Miss would probably be the 2 most desirable games. But, Florida being on the road, Texas A&M is supposed to be a top 10 team on the road, Auburn in the Iron Bowl rivalry game, that's going to be on the road, and then Miami's in Atlanta. From a fan's perspective, there's just not a whole lot as far as the home games are concerned this season.
Yeah. All right, finally, I'm sure you saw the story with BYU and that NIL deal there that was apparently arranged by BYU. Giving enough money to all of the walk-ons. 36 walk-ons will get enough money to basically be scholarship, although they're going to have to pay taxes on it. That's earnings to them. You wonder when schollies are going to be taxed as earnings then, and whether or not that's fair or not. But it just, man, this deal blew my mind, just like the Miami deal blew my mind at $500 a month and could grow to even more. I don't know that this is what this was designed to be. We really got to get some national legislation on how this works, because this, in the SEC, all the SEC states, you can't do that. The college can't set up a deal. Clearly, BYU did this deal to pay all their players. This is beyond the Wild Wild West. What's your thought?
And I completely agree with you. And when I heard this story break, I haven't really went and dove into all the details on what went into the process and exactly what all it's going to entail. I just know it from a very surface level, because I just, with where I've been at this week, I'm like, I don't even know if my mind can really start to wrap around this idea of what BYU has been able to do and how that's going to apply to the rest of college football, because we knew there was going to be unintended consequences with this new NIL legislation. And now that we're starting to see some of it play out, other schools are going to look at this and say, hey, that's a great idea. And then they're going to go out and try to do something similar.
If their states allow it. If their state allows it. And in Alabama, I've read the law over and over again. In Alabama, the school can't be involved in initiating any kind of deal for a player. And in Utah, apparently, the school can go out there and arrange an entire deal to pay all their players. I mean, it's nuts.
Well, and I'll say this. If they feel like that this sort of situation can create some sort of competitive advantage for BYU, I would not be surprised if some of these states, maybe not all of them, but at least some of them start to change their own laws, their own state laws. If they're able to do it, we need to be able to do it as well, because we don't want to just hand them a free advantage. And that's where I kind of look at it and I say, okay, what does this do as far as the, your scholarship players and the ones that are going to be playing on Saturdays? Does that give you any sort of advantage? That's the part that I haven't really thought about and dove into yet, and I really feel like at some point I'm going to need to, because this is going to have a huge impact on the way that certain programs are run. And it could even the playing field a little bit if states chose not to, adopt something similar. But I don't know. It's like I said, we knew that unexpected stuff was coming, but this has been way beyond anything that I could have imagined at this point in the process. Maybe down the line, Bryce Young making potentially, 7-figure money. At this point, I never thought that would have been possible this soon. I thought that would have been several years down the road. So I'm blown away by the entire situation, and all I can sit here and say is I guess we'll just have to sit back and see how it plays out.
That's why I think it has to be a national legislation. That's why the government has to jump in, and they've got to come up with a national deal on this thing, because right now the states are all doing their own thing, and there's no doubt that it's a competitive advantage. There's no doubt. A kid knows that no matter what he does, if he goes to Miami, immediately he's getting paid. A kid knows that if he goes to BYU now, that he knows he's getting paid. He's getting a chunk of dough no matter what. And you can't tell me, and it was supposed to be the kids making money off of their name, image, and likeness. You can't tell me that the 35th walk-on at BYU is going to be benefiting this company that makes, energy bars. They're not going to get a benefit from that. They're doing this to enhance the entire program. It's not the kid going out and getting a endorsement deal. It's the school getting an endorsement deal for a kid to pay his tuition. And, oh, by the way, that kid's got to have to pay taxes on that. He's going to pay taxes on his $20,000 tuition, where the kid that's on scholarship apparently doesn't have to. At some point in time, somebody's going to say, well, that's a benefit to the player, too. You guys now have to start paying income tax on your scholarships.
Well, and, David Shaw had the whole line about Alabama and fair market value, and I feel like that Alabama thing with Bryce Young was a lot more fair market value than this thing with BYU.
No doubt.
If I was, so if I was David Shaw, I'd have a lot more of a problem with what's going on there than what's going on in Tuscaloosa. But we're only scratching the surface. They're going to figure out so many loopholes and gray areas that are going to be exploited. And I think you're right. I think until someone steps in that can really lock down a process or things that you look at as far as the way that you manage it, it's going to continue to be the Wild Wild West.
Always a pleasure. Great stuff, Clint. Congratulations on the new gig. And, I'm looking forward to working you in, man, on a regular basis. Let's get you in here and get things going.
Sounds good. Good talking to you, Tom. I'll talk to you soon.
Appreciate you. Thanks. Tremendous. All right, we are open phone lines the rest of the way, 256-576-4977. 256-576-4977, broadcasting from the largest city in the state of Alabama. That's right, Birmingham. I said it. That's right, Birmingham. I said it. Bigger and prettier. We've always been prettier, but now bigger. The biggest state, or the biggest city in the state of Alabama, per the 2020 census. Pretty cool. All right, we'll come back. Open lines are next. Have you ever had a catch with anyone? Or do you play catch? It's kind of weird, but it's reared its ugly head again. Back with that right after this. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Simple Green is perfect for making your auto, RV, cycling, boating, and other sporting equipment look like new. Visit them at simplegreen.com.
After falling back to third in a tight race in the NL East, the Braves will once again travel to D.C. this weekend. They come in a minus 152 favorite against the Nationals in Game 1. Washington plus 125 on the money line. The over-under 9. Charlie Morton will get the start for Atlanta in Game 1. Tonight, the Falcons open preseason play at home against the Titans. Atlanta a 1-point favorite. The over-under 38. Falcons at plus 900 odds to win the NFC South this season, plus 3,000 to win the conference, and plus 8,000 to win the Super Bowl. YouTube sensation and undefeated boxer Jake Paul will face former UFC welterweight champion Tyron Woodley on August 28th. Paul opening as the favorite, minus 165. Woodley at plus 125.
I'm Trey Westerberg, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
TOC Sports has been there for you. Now, you're probably asking yourself, what does that mean?
It means for more than 20 years, Alabama's largest orthopedic group has been there providing coverage and care to more schools and student athletes in the Tennessee Valley than any other group. It means whether you are the star football player, the all-region volleyball ace, or someone who hurt their knee in a weekend pickup basketball game, TOC Sports physicians are proud to have the opportunity to care for all your orthopedic needs. It means for parents, coaches, athletes, desk jockeys, or even weekend warriors, TOC Sports physicians continue to meet and exceed the orthopedic and sports medicine needs of our community. But most importantly, during these challenging times, we're here for you now, and will continue to be here. So as long as there are players on the field, games to be played, and contests to be won, the orthopedic specialists from TOC Sports will be ready to help. We don't know what the future holds, but you can count on the TOC Sports team to stay committed to you, so you can stay in the game. Call 256-539-2728 today and ask to see a TOC Sports physician. Check them out online, also Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
McCurry Motors is your car and van rental headquarters. You can rent the vehicle you need today. Family in town, sporting event, church function, no matter what your need, McCurry Motors has you covered with a wide selection of cars and vans available for rent. They have 12-passenger Mercedes Sprinter vans, 12-passenger Ford Transit vans, 15-passenger Ford Transit vans, and 15-passenger Chevrolet Express vans. They have 2 locations, Highway 72 in Athens or Max Luther Drive in Huntsville.
Hi everybody, Eli Gold here. Right now, indoor air quality occupies top-of-mind awareness for families and business owners. Rick Smith and the trusted professionals at Environmental Comfort Systems can take care of your indoor air quality concerns with their state-of-the-art indoor air quality solutions. Environmental Comfort's indoor air quality systems remove 99.9% of airborne contaminants so you and your family can breathe clean, fresh air. If anyone in your family suffers from allergies, or if you just want the security of knowing the air you breathe inside your home is free from viruses, bacteria, pet dander, dust, and odors, Environmental Comfort Systems are the professionals to call. Environmental Comfort also carries state-of-the-art, high-efficiency comfort systems that increase home comfort, keep humidity in check, and help you save money on your energy bills. Give my friend Rick a call or visit them online at envcomfort.com and breathe cleaner air today. Environmental Comfort Systems, Alabama license number 92314.
Forgiveness. Wow, what a word. What a gift. All of us have done things in our lives that we regret. All of us have done things that are disobedient. All of us have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. Thank God for his forgiveness. Thank God that he separates our sins as far as the east is from the west and remembers them no more. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of Cross Point Church, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison. Check us out at cpcfamily.org.
This is Wes Neighbors talking to Chris Haygood of Bob Wallace Appliance. Chris, what sets you apart from other appliance dealerships?
Wes, these appliances are going into the most used room in your house, your kitchen. The way we have these appliances displayed, it's easy for you to visualize how they'll look in your home. Wes, what sets us apart is the people. They're well trained. In fact, they live and breathe these appliances. And if you need service, you'll really appreciate our parts department.
Contact Bob Wallace Appliance at 256-533-2121.
This is Wes Neighbors with Philip with Eagle Insulation, and we have an announcement to make.
Yes, Wes, we are now Eagle Masonry and Insulation. We're still a place to call for your installation needs, but now we offer masonry services.
What kind of masonry projects can you handle?
Wes, no job is too big, no job is too small. We can do renovations, new construction, outdoor fireplaces, fire pits, brick landscape borders.
Well, when you came out to my house, you did both the insulation and masonry at the same time. You guys did rock for me, you did brick for me, and you insulated my house. That's usually done at the same time that you're building a house.
Absolutely. It really capitalizes on 2 services you need at the same time, and you can get one company to handle both of those.
Philip with Eagle Insulation will come out, do your installation. He'll do your masonry. They do a great job. They guarantee your work. Check out more online at insulatewitheagle.com and schedule your free examination today. 256-755-1556.
Thanks, Wes.
From the WZDX Pinpoint Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Partly sunny skies this afternoon, temperatures climbing into the lower 90s, heat indices in the upper 90s, lower triple digits. We are talking about the opportunity for a couple of scattered showers and thunderstorms this afternoon, but not everybody's going to get wet, and not everybody's going to get wet at the exact same time. We stay relatively warm through the overnight, temperatures only dropping into the low and mid-70s. We're essentially going to repeat this process on Saturday, partly sunny skies, temperatures hanging out in the upper 80s and lower 90s with scattered showers and thunderstorms. Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your own for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Welcome back, Thom Abraham Show. This segment brought to you by TOC Sports. Look no further than TOC Sports. If you have been injured at work, at play, if you're an athlete, if you got a kid that's an athlete, it's TOC Sports. You need to entrust yourself or your child to somebody that you know is going to give you, the right answers and take care of them properly. It is the folks at TOC. I mean, look, just about every high school in the Tennessee Valley has TOC taking care of their athletes. Alabama A&M, Huntsville Havoc. They're trusted docs. They've been here forever. They do a tremendous job. It's TOC Sports. And they've been a big supporter of this show for years and years. When I say years and years, I'm talking 15 years probably that they have been supporting this show. There's a Twitter battle going on over who is DBU in the SEC. And it was asked by Saturday Down South. Come on, they said, help us out. Who's DBU, LSU, Alabama, or Florida? I responded, look, this is not a question you can ask. You just is like saying who has the best uniforms in the SEC. The fans take this over. You cannot get objective answers on this. Alabama fans will say Alabama. Florida fans will say Florida. LSU fans will say LSU. But, of course, they asked the question. I said it's a sucker question, and all hell broke loose. And people are posting all of the DBs that have ever played at LSU and all of the DBs that have ever played at Alabama, safeties, corners, who's the real DBU. You know who's not the real DBU is Texas. They ain't even here yet. They'll be here. They think they're DBU. And they've had some outstanding defensive backs come out of the University of Texas. Not as much lately, but they have had some outstanding DBs. But you just can't do anything about it. You can't argue it. It's a moot point. You cannot. Well, wait a minute. A moot point means you can't argue it, right? I say you can't argue the point. Just doesn't make any sense. I also retweeted the story by WHNT, I think it was, that Birmingham, that Huntsville is now bigger than Birmingham. That Huntsville is now the largest city in the state of Alabama. And I just simply said, and prettier too. And a good friend of mine from my folks at Bassmaster had to chip in and say, yeah, if you like flat and boring. What the? So I sent him pictures of the Jones Valley and Montesano and the Huntsville Mountains. And what's flat and boring about here? Grace, are we flat and boring? I don't see no flat and boring around here. I mean, get out of here.
No way. I see a lot of growth, and I see a lot of fun things to do. There's a lot more fun things to do than there was 20 years ago.
And I don't want to tweet that, and you don't have to shoot your way in and shoot your way out of downtown. I don't want to say that on the Twitter. I mean, I got a lot of people in Birmingham. I got a lot of friends in Birmingham. I do things in Birmingham. I don't want to bash Birmingham too much. And I'm not bashing Birmingham. I'm just saying that Huntsville's the biggest city in the state of Alabama. I think that's just cool to say. Huntsville's the biggest city in the state of Alabama. Because so many people, and when I tell people all the time, when I tell them that, I work in North Alabama, I mean, going all the way back to when I first got here in 2004, they would always say Birmingham. Oh, he's in Birmingham now. Birmingham. No, I said, I'm not in Birmingham. Huntsville. And now, biggest city in the state, Chris.
Exactly. Can we just claim Madison and then just be even bigger?
No.
Can we just claim them?
No.
Because we surround them. They know that they're not their own city, right?
No. 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 And I'll tell you why no. Because if we claim Madison, Athens, Decatur, we become the Metro, the Huntsville Metro, okay. And then they claim Hoover, and we're screwed.
Oh God!
Because Hoover's twice the size of Madison.
Yeah.
I mean, stop me if I'm lying. Go ahead and look it up. I'm going to say right now that Hoover is twice the size of Madison. I'm going to say Hoover's like around 100,000, and I'm going to say that Madison is like 50,000-ish or more. How close am I?
All right, so I'm looking at Hoover. Hoover has a population as of 2019 of 85,175.
Okay.
All right, Madison, as of 2019, has a population of 49,327. So they doubled.
It's twice as big.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're like real close. We're just a little bit big. Now, in another 3 years, we'll be way bigger than Birmingham. But we are a little bit bigger than Birmingham right now. But if they add in Hoover, the Birmingham Metro is still bigger than ours. And I'll tell you, look, the Birmingham Metro is market 53 in Radio World. We're market 100. So that market is a bigger market than our market. But Huntsville's a bigger city than Birmingham now. And you know what else Huntsville has? Huntsville has a former athlete that is going to have a statue outside of Neyland Stadium. Neyland Stadium has no statues. I didn't know that they didn't have statues. They don't have a statue of General Neyland? They don't have any statues over there.
No Philip Fulmer statue?
No Philip. I was going to say Fat Phil, but I hate to say that because he really
No Champion of Life statue or
No.
anything? Dang. You'd think there would be a Champion of Life statue erected or something.
I can assure you that the gap is closing.
No.
No Jeremy Pruitt? Oh, God.
No.
No Peyton Manning? Where's the Peyton Manning statue?
No.
Are you kidding me?
Well, here you go. So they are going to, and this is mind-boggling to me. I'm just going to say this about
trapped
that.
in a bottle?
I don't know. Maybe do they have? Maybe not. So maybe there is a Peyton Manning statue. They're going to, outside of Neyland State, I don't know. Tennessee fan, tell me. You got a Peyton Manning statue? They must have a Peyton Manning statue. So the University of Tennessee is going to unveil a new permanent tribute to 4 trailblazers from throughout the storied history of Tennessee football as a kickoff to Neyland Stadium's year-long centennial celebration. The story says Tennessee proudly led the way in providing opportunities for black student athletes to excel in the SEC gridiron. Beginning in the 60s, Tennessee's progressive posture on racial equity led legendary volunteers recording several history-making firsts. So on Thursday, September 2nd, when they host the Bowling Green, larger-than-life bronze statues commemorating Lester McLean, Jackie Walker, Conridge Holloway from Huntsville, and T. Martin will be unveiled in the plaza outside of Gate 21 at Neyland Stadium. Well, they must have other statues. They can't just, I'm sure these aren't just the only 4 statues, right?
Looks like there's a statue of Smokey, but I don't know
Smokey
if that's
got a statue?
I don't know if that's in front of the stadium. Let's see.
They must have other ones.
Who is this?
All right. Let me go to the lines.
No,
Chris, tell me.
There's no one.
Oh.
I was just trying to get you to look at your Hangouts chat. You're good. That's why I said it.
Oh.
Because that's how we communicate, so.
Well, wouldn't it? Yeah. When you say phones,
Hangouts chat.
Phones.
You mean do that?
I was looking at your list.
Gmail chat.
This is your. What'd you do? Find a list of notable
This
DBs.
is as of I believe I think it was August of last year from ESPN. The
notable defensive backs from various schools.
Yeah,
and
that
stuff?
are either still in the league, and I believe some of them are retired. Obviously.
Ohio State with Lattimore.
No, there is a Neyland statue.
There's a General Neyland statue. Is there?
He's on his knee. He's on a knee with his hands crossed. Yeah.
All right. Is there a Peyton Manning and Reggie White statue? There must be a Peyton Manning.
No, there's a Pat Summitt one, but I don't see.
No, there has to be a Peyton Manning statue.
There might be. All I see, I'm looking at notable statues or whatever from each school, and the only one that Tennessee even talks about is Neyland and Pat Summitt.
Look, I got great respect for what Lester McLean out of Antioch, Tennessee, and what Jackie Walker out of Knoxville, Tennessee, and what Conridge Holloway out of Huntsville, and what T. Martin out of Mobile. It's kind of funny that 2 of the people that are putting statues up are Alabama people. I have great respect for what they did, but there's got to be a Peyton Manning statue and a Reggie White statue. You can't put these guys' statues up.
I know the Colts have a Peyton Manning statue, but I don't think I'm typing it in and I don't see anything. All I see is Neyland and Pat Summitt.
Wow. That would be surprising to me.
Yeah, because Neyland was back in 2010 when it happened. And it's all I know is that it's on the corner of Peyton Manning Pass and Philip Fulmer Way.
Well, if you got a Peyton Manning Pass, don't you think you ought to have
I think he has a gate, too. I think Peyton Manning has his own gate, but I don't think he has a statue. But, yeah, I see it. I see it for the Colts. It's right here. And he even talks about building the statue and everything. But I don't see a statue for Peyton Manning.
Shane in Decatur said, I will show my kid that game, the Field of Dreams game, when she's old enough to understand how cool that game actually was. Coolest thing that I've ever seen in sports. I wonder if Shane goes out and has a catch with his daughter.
I'll say this, though, too. You make her watch, or not make her, but you show her the movie, too, and then show her the movie. Game. Yeah.
You see the movie, then you see what's making the movie.
Yeah.
Okay?
Or maybe the other way around. Maybe you reverse it a little bit.
No, you got to see the movie first. No. You got to see the movie first. Then you got to see the making of the movie, which is fascinating. You know, the corn wasn't growing. They had to delay the making of the movie. The corn wouldn't grow. It was a drought in the summer of '88, and the corn wouldn't grow. And they hauled in water, irrigation. They didn't have irrigation in those fields, and they started watering the field so the corn would grow. And then it grew so fast that in that opening scene, when Ray Kinsella, Kevin Costner, goes into the cornfield, and he's like talking to the voice, trying to figure out where the voice is coming from. He's actually walking on apple crates so that he'll stick up above the corn because the corn grew too fast. I mean, it's a fascinating show. You got to see that show 30 years in the making, about the movie. But in the movie, there's that scene at the end when I would just get choked up. Everybody gets choked up at the end. If you have a heart, even if you got a lousy one like me, you get choked up at the end when he has a catch with his father, who was the same age as him in the movie, who had passed away at a young age. John Kinsella is his dad. And he says, "Hey, Dad, you want to have a catch?" And I'm like, the hell are you talking about? Have a catch?
I've only heard that in northern. I've only heard northern speaking people say it like that. I've never heard anyone in the South have a catch.
Yeah, well, let me tell you this about that. I'm from New York. I never in my life heard have a catch until that movie.
Yeah,
Now, it might be... I think it's a New England. It sounds like it's an England thing, really.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's from over there.
Would you like to have a catch?
I'll have a catch. We'll have a catch. Have a catch. I think have a tea. I think it's a New England thing. I don't think it's a northern thing.
Yeah.
It's a New England thing, maybe like Boston, like this little spot, like in Massachusetts. Even Kevin Costner says he fought it.
Kevin, I've always wanted to ask you this because a lot of people have opinions on it. You said you want to have a catch. Is it have a catch or play catch? What did you grow up saying?
Yeah,
What's
I
the
had
right
a
way?
big, long discussion with the director that I guess that's an East Coast thing, have a catch. Because I read that and I immediately...
It's not an East Coast thing unless it's an East Coast thing. I am from New York. We didn't say, hey, you want to have a catch?
I do watch this great show called It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I'm sure people that listen to the show have seen it too. But they always, because they're Philadelphia, they always talk about the Phillies in it. And one of the characters is trying to write a love letter to Chase Utley. And literally the love letter says, "I would like to have a catch with you." And so I think that also maybe people from Pennsylvania use that phrase as well. I mean, like you said, it might be a northeastern kind of thing.
I mean, it's
just like was fingernails on a chalkboard to me. I said, hey, you want to play catch? I always said to my dad, let's play catch. Let's play catch. And the director, no, it's have a catch. Have a catch. He was very detailed about that idea. And it was a weird thing. I had to get my arms around it. It was almost like I had to learn how to say it.
That's awesome.
Awful thing to say. He didn't even.
Could you imagine the scene though, behind the scenes when they have to keep doing that scene? He was probably like, "Oh, this is stupid."
Yeah.
He was probably.
I'm not saying have a catch. Okay,
You got to say it. You got every Northeast.
Well, if you're going to say it, you have to say it in that you have to have a Boston accent or a Philadelphia accent. Then, if you're going to say it, I mean, Ray Kinsella was from freaking Iowa. Okay,
You got to have a Philly accent.
He's from Iowa.
In Iowa.
He was an Iowa dude. His dad played for the thing, but he's from Iowa. The farm was his dad's. Ray Kinsella would have never said, have a catch with John Kinsella. John Kinsella was from a farm in Iowa that he left to his son Ray Kinsella. They are Iowa people. They would never say, have a catch. All right, we'll be back and wrap it up next. Thom Abraham Show, 97.7 ESPN.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
When I chose a garage door company, I did my homework. I needed Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. They have a 5-star Google rating. I checked their reviews and liked what their customers had to say. Precision Overhead Garage Door has lifetime warranty packages. Same-day service if I call before 2 p.m. If they can't make it the same day, my service call fee the next day is waived. They did a 25-point safety inspection on the door and operator. Now that's peace of mind. Residential, commercial, and gate services. Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. Call 256-400-4500.
I'm attorney Gary Lackey. You know, you'll hear people say we're like a family, but here at the Lackey Law Firm, that's really true, not just a saying.
I'm Justin Lackey. With my father and my sister, we have a special connection to each other.
I'm Jennifer Lackey. At the Lackey Law Firm, when we take on your case, you become part of our family. You really do.
And we'll always do whatever it takes to get everything you deserve.
If you're injured, you worry about getting well, not about paperwork or insurance companies or figuring out how to get to your lawyer's office. I'll come to you.
We worry about your case so you don't have to.
When you've been injured, we know that your case is probably the biggest thing going on in your life. More important than almost anything else.
And it's important to us too, for one simple reason. Family takes care of each other, and at the Lackey Law Firm, we'll take care of you.
The Lackey Law Firm. The Lackey Law Family. 1-800-4-RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
This is Wes Neighbors talking to Chris Haygood of Bob Wallace Appliance. Chris, what sets you apart from other appliance dealerships?
Wes, these appliances are going into the most used room in your house, your kitchen. The way we have these appliances displayed, it's easy for you to visualize how they'll look in your home. Wes, what sets us apart is the people. They're well trained. In fact, they live and breathe these appliances. And if you need service, you'll really appreciate our parts department.
Contact Bob Wallace Appliance at 256-533-2121.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. The IRS just rolled out a new program to help struggling taxpayers more easily resolve their tax problems. It's called the Taxpayer Relief Initiative, and it opens up powerful new options for people looking to get back on the right track with the IRS. And no one knows this program like the professionals at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution company. They've resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients and have the expertise and experience to help you. One easy call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries of wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Make today the beginning of your fresh start with the IRS. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief now for your free confidential consultation.
Call 800-386-9945. 800-386-9945. 800-386-9945.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seaton, managing partner of University Kia, here letting you know we are proud supporters of Madison Academy football. And a quick shout out to my son, Avery Seaton, number 19. Stop into University Kia today and shop our large selection of new Kias, including our all-new Telluride 8-passenger SUV, the stylish new K5, and the sporty new Seltos. Visit universitykia.com to view all our great offers and get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia today, because we want to see you in the Kia. Go Mustangs!
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
In today's real estate market, you need the right professionals to help make sure your home purchase is smooth and hassle-free. That's where Jacob Title comes in. Stan McDonald and the staff at Jacob Title cater to the realtor and clients who are looking for a top-flight closing experience. Jacob Title uses the latest and best technologies to ensure a safe and secure exchange of funds, and they pride themselves on great communication well before and during the real estate closing process. Jacob Title in Huntsville and Madison, and online at jacobtitle.com.
Really? Really? I mean, we're going to end the show with the anthem? Really?
Always.
You know what this tells me? One, the football music must not be in the rotator. Two.
No, it is. I just played it. It's football music.
Oh, this is football music?
Yeah.
Oh.
How is this not a football song?
I don't know. It's Sweet Home Alabama. I don't think of it as a football song. Unless you add the
I've
Roll
always
Tide
as a
Roll.
sports, football song, whatever.
You think of, wait a minute. You think of Sweet Home as a football song?
I see it as like a sports, football, whatever song. They play it in every stadium.
Well, not every stadium, but
I
when they play,
I heard it during a Detroit Lions
look,
game. Come on now.
So is...
Oh, God, no.
Is that a football song?
Please never play that again.
Is that a football song?
No, it is not.
Sweet Home is not a football song. Now, they do play it in the stadium, but they also play Back in Black, or they play a lot of songs in the stadium. Now, if you add the part where you go Roll Tide Roll in Sweet Home Alabama, then it becomes a football song. But you have to have that part where they go
They
Roll
played
Tide.
it at a Falcons game one time. I mean,
It's okay.
come
They
on,
play
man.
Play all kinds of music at the game.
But I mean, like, it's always like a song that I've always like heard around either sports or football in general.
Ain't no football now, it's gone.
Is that a football song?
I mean, someone made that, so yeah, technically, they made it into a football song.
That would be a football song. That's a drumline.
That's a
It's kind of
band.
football song. Band song. Quick note, by the way, the NFL introduced some new rules and point of emphasis rules, and I say this every year. I'm going to say it again. I just want to throw this out there. To me, this makes so much sense, and I don't understand why it doesn't get adopted. Maybe I haven't told anybody. I've said it on the air, though. When the offense has the ball, and they are inside, let's say, their own 5-yard line. Let's say they're on their 3-yard line, and they commit a clip, not with the quarterback in the end zone or anything. It's just a running play. And let's say they hold on the end of the line of scrimmage. What's the penalty? It's half the distance to the goal, right? So you're on the 2.5-yard line. You run a play, you hold, and your penalty is 1.5 yards.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Next play, you throw the ball, and then you get it. It's only 2nd and 11 instead of it would be if it was in the middle of the field. It would be 2nd and 20, right? So this would be such a simple adjustment. If you get a penalty and you're inside the 5-yard line, and you jump off sides or you have a legal procedure, okay? Instead of it being a half the distance penalty, you're on your own 1-yard line and you jumped off sides. It's a 18-inch penalty. Why not move the sticks 5 yards? If you get a holding penalty on you're on your own 4-yard line, and you have a holding penalty.
Stop making sense.
On a running play. I'm not talking about quarterbacks in the end zone. It's a safety. I'm talking about you run the ball, and there's an interior holding penalty. Instead of it being 2nd and 12 and it's a 2-yard penalty from your own 4, Grizz, why not move the stakes?
Stop
10
making
yards?
sense. Stop making sense.
And make it 2nd and 20.
Because they didn't ask you.
Just move the freaking sticks.
Because they didn't ask you, and you're making sense, okay? Stop it.
Stop going out and having a catch, and stop going half the distance to the goal line. This is why my heart's no good, because I get all bent out of shape like this. Text window. They play Sweet Home Alabama at Neyland Stadium because it's Alabama's home. Boom.
Boom.
Chuck Oliver is next, then Paul Feinbaum. It's all coming up right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.